Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Week 5 of the SpyParty Competitive League Season 7. My name is Taboshi. I am joined today by Winter Cup finalist and all-around terrifying SpyParty player, Legorv Janine.
Hi, Tobo.
Hello.
Everybody. Thank you for the introduction.
You're welcome. And Lazy Bear is going to be our host and observer and the person you can thank for being able to actually view the stream.
Thanks for that. Yes, hello.
SpyParty Competitive League is getting very large and growing ever more complicated. There are currently 4 active divisions, the lowest 2 of which, Obsidian 2 and Oak 4, are the ones we are going to be bringing you games from this evening, starting with the latter, with Calamay versus Interpunct, who are currently the 2 big dogs of Oak 4, sitting pretty at the top. This match, I believe, will determine who gets top of the division before their championship match next week, which will determine who actually gets promoted.
Yeah, so they're going to be playing each other again. The winner of this match just gets the draft advantage in that one, and the winner of that will promote to the next division up.
But for now, this particular match is mostly bragging rights and a fun little teaser for next week.
Yeah, that's something that we don't see very often within an SCL regular season, so that should be quite fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, picks and bans for this match are luckily somewhat more compressed than we get in things like the Winter Cup. In this case, we get a ban from each. In this case, we don't actually know Interpunct's picks and bans, but we know that Calamay banned out Balcony and decided not to restrict a damn thing. So it's going to be Interpunct first, doubling Terrace, followed by Calamay doubling Ballroom. Interpunct picks up High Rise 3 of 5, and then Calamay Modern 4 of 8.
Yeah, CL has switched over to some of these new setups like the Modern 4 out of 8 last season, and has actually made the switch to 3 of 7 pub this season as well, which is quite exciting. So get some changes going for the venue pool.
Absolutely. So that's the situation. We've got 6 pairs of games across 4 different venues. We're going to be starting things off here on Terrace with Interpunct starting things off on the Spy side versus Calamay's Sniper. If you guys are ready to go, let's get this thing underway. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. And it looks like we're taking a beeline to the bar and the only one there to start the game off, which is a little bit unusual.
Also unusual if you've seen any competitive events recently is we've got 3 of 6 Terrace here. SCL decided not to switch to the 3 of 7, which has been popularized as of late.
Huh, that was a straight reject from the bar, like a little Twitch reject there. No even picking up a delegate. That said, out of the bar, we head into our first conversation with exit seduction target for our first flirt for 51%. So a solid start, but definitely an unusual one.
Yeah, no contact despite the conversations being completely full right there could indicate that the spy is in this right-hand conversation, if Calamay is on top of that. But if Interpunct's paying attention, Kane is picked up. A fingerprint, a delegate now, and possibly a bug credit is what that highlights for.
Definitely someone to keep an eye on as the game moves forward. Interpunct stepping back into the same spot in conversation, not able to hit the second green test, so it's 85% on the flirt, with plenty of time remaining.
Yeah, 2 flirts a big deal in this game. But with a lot of time on the clock on this variant of Terrace, it's not as big of a deal as it otherwise is. We take a path around the long side of this conversation to avoid the ambassador. Heading into bar now. Kane.
Yeah, back into the bar for the second time around. Again, not picking up a delegate, just grabbing the drink.
Yeah, that's not the greatest play, because that is just free potential if we wanted it later. But speaking of Kane, who hasn't done anything since I talked about him last time, he's just bounced between windows 5 times.
Well, there's the flirt getting done.
Kane was going for a second briefcase there, almost became a huge threat.
Yeah, if he can find a way to put his hands on something that the ambassador has been near. Oh my! Oh my, it's a terrifying walking bug attempt around back of the conversation there. It doesn't take, but also doesn't get Interpunct killed on sight, which is nice to see. Landing in statues is the only way to make that look in any way reasonable. So here we are, picking up a pair of inspects with 50 seconds left in the game.
Yeah,
We'll see if anything comes of this.
Here. If the double agent doesn't get in here, we could be in for big trouble here, especially if we have to go to statues again. It'll really put a target on our back.
We have the option for it now. Bug on the way into conversation, very much on camera. Calamay on top of things this time around, and that's going to be game number 1 in the books.
Calamay on top of things, including the ambassador's shoulder, almost taking a miss shot there, but finds the wrong arm bug there.
Yeah, there's another terrifying moment as the twin nearly blocked in front of the laser, but I think the trigger had been pulled a moment earlier. Either way, that's Calamay opening up the festivities from the sniper side of things. Let's see how they play from the spy side. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Immediately pathing into bar here with the AI control, but we're going to be joined here this time. So we pick up a non-delegate and no flirt. Okay.
That is a very unusual decision. With a bar that's fairly busy early on, you usually want at least to have the delegate available, and with the seduction target right next to you, it's a weird decision not to take them up on that.
Oh, and look at this too. Everyone at bar has picked up bar highlights, but we've been knocked down for whatever reason. So if we did have that delegate and sent it off, we could just take a low light for not being at bar. Although these highlights...
Looks like bar highlights are getting knocked down very quickly.
Oh, Calamay. Calamay had a plan here, joined with the ST, did a red flirt, and immediately left. We're going to try and frame a purloin onto red dress.
I see.
Low light.
Ooh.
And
Oh.
immediately shot!
Okay.
Just for the straight take of the guest list. I'm amazed they were able to be quite that.
That is a risk that you take when framing against newer players, to be fair, is that you gotta really trust them to be on top of your frame, and if they're not, if they don't see this red flirt and leave, even though Hare picks up the highlight immediately after that, Calamay takes the bullet, even though it was a great frame.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool move, but if you're not really able to trust that the sniper is going to be on top of it, sometimes cool moves like that can very much backfire. And that is going to be 1-1, as we do have one more round of Terrace to play. Interpunct back on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And for the second time, we have
another early bar visit.
Yeah, that's another pattern we've got going on. But maybe some character choices here from Interpunct. We've got Wheels and Smallman, and then Sorry and Smallman. But Smallman taking up that position next to the Ambassador when it wasn't really being guarded could be good, especially since that early highlight does come off.
A lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but it's not super uncommon to put Smallman in as the low light just to make damn sure he's there and not a SDA. But
yeah, not so much a problem here on Terrace with the known double agent, but we've sent off a delegate here, and it's gonna come off for sure. That's if Calamay's on top of this, it could be a lot of early lowlights to be sure of. There's
It's a fake
four
contact to try to distract as well.
low lights
3
are
low
taken.
lights coming off from that.
Oh yeah, missing Kane could be huge here. And Purloin has definitely not been noticed yet. There's Kane being low lit.
We're up
See
to
if it's
5
Purloin.
lowlights on the game so far. Purloin is done though, and 47% on the flirt.
I still don't know that it's been noticed with that rotation there. Another
Banana
fade
bread.
coming off here, even though the okay, Calamay. Calamay is on top of this. Was just being
Fair
very
enough.
patient.
Banana bread.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on that second fake there because the double agent was out of conversation. That's like the least intuitive time to take a contact. But
Yeah.
Calamay gets enough information out of it, and that's
Banana bread.
gonna be a continued sniper party.
Well, we're only 3 games deep, so it's hard to call it Sniper Party as of yet. Let's see if Calamay can do anything about that from the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, I'm getting a bit of deja vu here. Last game was Sorry Spy Smallman ST. This game we've got Sorry ST Smallman Spy.
A little reversal of fortunes here. Calamay as Smallman starting things off, just hanging out in this conversation, going to take the double agent as soon as
Banana
it
bread.
comes to them. It was a really long AT though, as one person leaves and another enters while we were waiting for that to go off.
Highlights taken for real, but we're not visible here. So if we can get out of here, that could be great.
Friggin' Smallman. Absolutely invisible, just sitting in Wheels' lap.
Oh, and we did not get out of there in time and pick up that highlight. Would have liked to see that from Calamay, but could have been picked up on by Interpunct regardless.
Almost went under the radar, as is so often happens with a man this short, but we do have that contact done at the cost of 3 lowlights. We do have 34% on the flirt, so we're in quite a decent position here.
Yeah, and our ST has landed in the other conversation, so that could be our opportunity to move over.
Calamay has not moved from this spot since the start of the game. We're just now taking it down under 2 minutes as well. It'll be very interesting to see how long they're going to try to hold on to this before they make a move.
Yeah, maybe Calamay reading into the jumpy shot last time. Gonna stick with that. Maybe hope for a safe shot here.
Seduction target does enter, but it's way across the conversation.
She
It's
did
a
enter
white
next to the
test to
ambassador
bring-
though, so you'll take it.
That's true. White test brings us up to 51%. That is a close green. Sorry, a close white and a very, very far away white. It gets you the same amount of progress as a close green does. So if we can get a close green for the third, that will finish it up. But in order to do that, Calamay is probably going to have to move, which they still have not done with under 1:10 left to play.
We had such a good reverse drive-by opportunity there as well, but our patience has been rewarded as we take the neutral light. There's the reverse
There's
bug.
the reverse drive-by attempt. It
It's-
was a scary situation from the camera point of view, and luckily we've had some movement in front to try to block it. Bug done at this point in time. A distant green gets us up to 78% with 45 seconds left to play. This is actually a bit of a scary situation, though, because Calamay absolutely has to move here, and finally does.
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot here, though. It does not seem that Interpunct is onto this bug, so I would expect that Calamay can just wait out this cooldown, step back in, and hopefully take this last flirt walking by the ambassador. There's a bit careless, really trusting Interpunct to be watching that, but it looks like the highlight statues might have the attention here, switches over to the briefcase, and Calamay's going to get away with one here.
Yeah, that is a clean mission win from Calamay. Having a look at this bug, unfortunately, it looks like a slight movement from Interpunct put them in exactly the wrong position to see this. They got a look at the hand as they moved away, but it was a weird enough position that it's kind of hard to tell if it was anything more than just an idle animation from the angle they were at. Definitely
not-
could have been caught, but just eyes elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm not very sure of Interpunct's style yet. I have not seen enough of their games, so I'm not very sure that they're a camper just yet.
Well, either way, Calamay gets the first break of the set, puts themselves in the lead 3-1, moving on to the next venue, which is going to be 4 games on Ballroom 4 of 8 in 3-2-1, playing it.
And we've got a chaos bug as we walk towards the right side of the venue to the windows. And
It was a pretty nice bug, too. If you're not on that ambassador off the top of the game, you're probably not going to see something like that. Back along the backside of the ambassador could have been another bug path from all you could see from the sniper side, but either way, that's a very strong start from Interpunct.
yeah, and getting early inspects as well. That I like getting early inspects and that highlight after getting a clean bug, because that'll make the sniper watch you for the rest of the game. And typically, it'll give you some pretty good anti-bug credit.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've already gotten away with a hardtail, that's the perfect time to do something that's probably going to get you highlight, because we've got the inspects completely done, and if we can do contact and flirt without doing anything egregious, both of which are soft tells, this highlight isn't going to matter.
Yeah, and they're in the same conversation over there, so that's very valuable for Interpunct. We do have an assumed real DA here on Kane. That happened very early on. Not entirely sure what Calamay's thinking on Kane there.
Either way, it could play very much into Interpunct's hands. Contact is not going to wind up happening, though, as the double agent bails on us as we move to pick up this flirt. So we'll see what comes
Calamay
of that.
confirming. These are DA differentiation highlights. That is not something that I've seen very often. I've thought about doing it on the twins, though. There have certainly been times when I'm like, oh, that twin is this person's DA, and then I notice the other twin is the SDA, and I'm like, well, that information's gone.
I mean, it's always nice to have twin differential lights, whether or not they're DAs.
Minute 20 left. ST has left, so that could be not great
Oh, the
opportunity
double
to
agent
finish.
bails on us again, so it looks like we're gonna start
Ooh.
doing some prints here, picking up a briefcase and getting the first print off of that. But with a minute left to play, it's a bit of a weird situation as we wind up in conversation with the seduction target. This, I think, is illegal. I think we were supposed to have moved again, but
So it's AI can choose the same exact spot that they're already standing in. It's just extremely unlikely. So this is very concerning. If a sniper was on top of Interpunct here, and we had a difficult on that fingerprint that was missed. So this could be a mission win right here if we hit that difficult.
either way, we might not need it. If we want to take the silent game, we can go for it, but we're not going to. It's just going to be the contact. There's still plenty of
Banana
time.
bread.
It's not going to be overtime. 20 seconds on the clock when that came off. Is Calamay going to take a shot? It doesn't look like they're confident enough to pull the trigger, and Interpunct gets one of their own from the spy side.
Yeah, pretty clean game after that early chaos bug. I think took good advantage of it. Calamay really showed no interest in shooting there, and there was a lot of lowlights. There was a lot of chaos during that BB as well. So maybe trying to parse out exactly what happened in that end game situation. But
honestly, if you get away with a clean bug on Ballroom, it's very hard for the sniper to come back from a deficit like that. Either way, Interpunct poised to tie things up from the sniper side against Calamay's spy in 3-2-1, playing it. Calamay, one of the slowest characters in the game, maybe the slowest.
Yeah, I believe Pearls is joined a cross conversation with the twin who picks up a highlight.
And we have seen the dreaded 17% flirt for the second time this set.
It's not too bad, provided you can hit at least one green on the remaining 2 flirts. That's not a guarantee.
One fairly snuggly green, too.
A lot
Another-
of early highlights here. And I don't think these have all been for inspects. So
Yeah.
Interpunct doing a spread of assorted highlights.
A lot of early highlights indeed. And a very slow start from Calamay, and with a number of highlights that could very much move to their favor. Now, they did get a green on the second flirt, but they also didn't move since, so 2 flirts deep and we're at 42%.
Yeah, it won't be the dreaded 6 flirt, but Calamay should get a move on here.
And they do just that, finally stepping away to an innocent conversation, though, so that's not ideal.
Speaking of, there are 4 extremely packed conversations here. Unfortunately, the SDA leaves, but Calamay won't be aware of that.
It's a green purloin, though. That's the reason we're all the way over here being all inconspicuous and stuff. We're trying to get someone shot for this guest list, and it's Smallman
Banana
who
bread.
takes it. There's a contact to distract. This could be huge for Calamay.
There are only 2 people with real contacts here. We'll see if Interpunct picks up on that. And it looks like Salmon has picked up a highlight.
Has the
the
guest
aftermath
list
of that.
been noticed missing yet is the big question. I'm not sure it has. Now
There
it
it
has.
is. He just rejected a drink, which I think is a really good decision here. Otherwise, it could have really what
Could have
is
been
the word for this?
terrifying. Absolutely.
Yeah,
could
it
have
really
been
could have
terrifying.
sold Calamay out. Implicated.
1 minute on the clock. We've got the purloin done. We've got 42% in the flirt, and we've got that low light.
We have the low light, but we don't have the time.
Yeah,
Banana
that's
bread.
the big
Moving.
question right now. It's another fake contact. Can we finish missions? Is the big question. Currently, it looks like no.
Smallman, the list taker, is in for a contact there, but Interpunct interestingly deciding to neutralite there.
I think Interpunct is just really behind, does not really know what's happened on this purloin, which is going to make them jumpy for the rest of the game, but they still need to take a shot for something. The wrong arm bug coming across.
Oh, no, we're into middle statues. We don't have time to finish here. We
We
don't have time to do
It's
this.
15 seconds. Maybe if we can get an inspect swap here, 10 seconds
Yeah,
to play, I
that's
think
the
this is
only way.
doable, but it's going to be terrifying. 5 seconds.
2 greens.
There's 2, 3
Oh,
seconds.
no, there's no
2,
time.
1. There it is.
Oh!
Swap off. He got it done in time. That's the shot. For the
Wow.
Calamay gets it done barely under the clock.
Let's go, Calamay. 3 missions in the last 30 seconds. Just how I like it.
Good lord,
Love it.
man. Don't make it that stressful.
Calamay cutting it close there, but got there in the end. Yeah, had 0.6 seconds left on that white swap.
Okay. So, Interpunct with a big chance to bring this level isn't able to get it done from the sniper side, sorry. And now they're back into the spy side of things, down 4-2 versus Calamay's sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, SpyParty here on Ballroom so far. Nowhere else is it more fitting.
Starting things off in conversation with the seduction target and actually being polite about it, which not that many players do nowadays. Usually you'll just take that as soon as you get in, but waiting it out for his turn to talk, and 51% on the flirt is their reward.
Yeah, we're in a good reverse drive-by spot as well. Amba teasing us with a path, but goes along the long way.
And a quick dip out to the side statue here. It's been very busy back here, but we should be able to get a pair of inspects nonetheless.
Yeah, I want to say there have been 5 statue visitors, and it looks like only the early ones have picked up highlights for it. So we're going to get out of here clean.
We are indeed back in the conversation with the section target, not in position for the 2 flirt. Does hit the greens. We could have gotten it. It's 89%, but honestly, not stepping back into the exact same spot in the conversation was probably wise.
Amba has just left a print on this drink. We'll see if Interpunct wants it. It's difficult, however, because the SDA is just taken.
Well, he is going to grab that. Does he get the print? He does hit the print. That's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So 1 print, 89% on the flirt, minute and 50 left to play.
Yeah, we'll see if Interpunct can finish fingerprints for real this time. Having done 4 missions plus the difficult fingerprint, if you credit that, in the last game. Double Agent being a bit of a goober, staying at the middle statues in the back here. But still plenty of time for him to get in.
Indeed. Not in this conversation because the SDA is here, but we did manage to get our flirt done in the meantime. Minute and 20 left to play. We've been here a little while and the clock is suddenly not our friend.
Yeah, we have timer flirted though, so that is progress. Gonna take the correct arm bug as we walk past the ambassador.
Cane
If there's a-
side bug.
If there's a fingerprintable statue somewhere, that could be a silent game finish here.
That was a pretty nice bug, all things considered. Into statues we go once more. There's the inspects done. It's not going to be the print, though, so we still need to find one more mission somewhere. It looks like it could have been the briefcase, but it got yoinked out from under our nose. 35 seconds to play.
Yeah, this game's looking awfully familiar. Bug, inspect, seduce, half a print, and maybe eyeing up this contact to the finish.
There was a big zoom in on that guest list when Interpunct took the drink, so they may have some suspicion
bread.
on them. It's going to be the contact. It's not going to be a silent game, but I don't think it's going to matter right now. Another zoom in on the list tells me that Calamay doesn't really know what to do with himself. Safety off for a moment, but not confident enough to take a shot, and it likely wouldn't have been the right one anyways. Interpunct once again finds a way through on the spy side.
Yeah, there was a whole ton of cover on the ambassador when we took that bug. So Interpunct, another clean bug, inspect, seduce, contact game.
We've been seeing some very nice bugs along the back of the party from both players on Ballroom here.
Yeah, definitely one of the stronger places to get a bug in the game. But snipers have, for the most part, picked up on that and adjusted at the where I'm playing, at least.
Yeah. But with the angle the sniper was at, that bug was nigh on invisible. Let's see if Calamay can pull off something similar versus Interpunct's sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is another chance for Interpunct to draw level from the sniper side, which is usually the preferred side of SpyParty.
Yeah, running back this Kane spy choice of the last game. Not gonna step in for that first flirt, instead stepping in for inspects.
So
And
center
yeah.
statues it's going to be. This will fairly easily be all 3 of the inspects.
I would like to see a rush given this early inspect and no other progress. I'd like to see how Interpunct can react to that in particular.
Could certainly be interesting. There is our drop into conversation. It was a little bit of an odd path in around Toby there, but we do get in cleanly nonetheless. 34% on the flirt and an interesting chance to try a standing bug, but the ambassador steps away before we get through with our talking animation.
Yeah, I don't think you can always go for that standing bug after you picked up that early highlight, especially. Really good time for contact again, with none coming off.
That is very true. But it looks like Calamay currently is more interested in hanging out and seeing if we can pick up this timer flirt. 2 minutes to play. It's plenty of time to do it, but it would be nice to take advantage of these conversations.
Cooldown's expired. We're gonna take it, and it could look like idling to Interpunct, but I don't think we'll be getting a neutral light given our middle inspects.
Indeed. That was a green test too, so up to 85%. Any flirt will finish this up now. Down to a minute 35 on the clock. And away we go to the windows, actually.
Yeah, Double Agents joined a pretty packed conversation. That could look like a good opportunity. Unfortunately, the SDA is out for just a moment longer.
And it looks like we are setting up to get into this conversation once
I think
we
we're
see...
setting up for this reverse bug, and we take it. It doesn't
It
take,
doesn't
though.
take, though. It was a beautiful little setup for the bug, but unfortunately just very slightly mistimed, not able to get away with it.
Yeah, and a really nice briefcase redirect as well. Calamay really going all out for this low light, but not gonna get it.
Double Agent bailed as well. There's another bug attempt getting caught on the way out of conversation, and a very unusual path into the next. This is going to be the real contact,
Banana bread.
alone in conversation with the real DA, which is certainly a risk, but considering the conversation the SDA is in, it may well work out.
Yeah, thankfully the SDA is in. There goes the Zeus getting finished off as Irish comes back. And now if either of those bugs had taken, looks like Calamay would have been clean with this, but 20 seconds left, and Amba's over at the blue bookcase with absolutely nobody else on that half of the venue.
It's gonna
It's
have
gonna
to
be
be a
a-
purloin. It's a red test. Blinky Blinky gets a good look at it too. Here's the shot coming off, and Interpunct finally manages to draw things level. It's 4-all.
Yeah, each player taking a venue there. 3-1. That's gonna even out the scores. Now we're into the singles, the last third of this match. We've got High Rise to start it out.
We do indeed. Interpunct on the Spy in possibly the soft telliest venue in SpyParty versus Calamay's Sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
You say the soft telliest, but we've got transfer and bug on, as well as inspect,
This is
seduce, and
true.
contact. Quite
So
an
bug,
unusual
contact,
setup for...
transfer, inspect, and seduce are the missions currently available. We start things off at the green bookcase and grab a very swift 51% flirt against, oh look, it's Smallman as the ST. I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, there's one player that I would really count on to see
Oh,
this.
it's a nice one too. The path was a little bit wonky, but you didn't catch a whiff of that arm.
Yeah, stepping back in with the ST here, going for this 2 flirt is gonna hit it. This could be a rush. That bug.
This could absolutely be a rush. We're 2
It
missions
should.
done, 1 to go, with 2 minutes and 40 on the clock.
Not only could this be a rush, it should be a rush. As soon as we get this double agent in, we should take a contact, and if he doesn't, we should just do middle inspects.
Yeah, I completely agree. No sniper is going to shoot for middle inspects this early on unless they are very suspicious of something already.
Ooh, Amba joining next to us again. Let's get on of here, Interpunct.
Yeah, this is not ideal.
Oh.
The highlight onto Interpunct probably knows that they could have gotten away with something there because they didn't get a good look on entry.
Yeah, good credit from Calamay. Could have been a reverse bug with the cover available, but will Calamay be ready to shoot for just a 2 flirt and a bug credit? Interpunct not going for this double agent. He's gonna leave again.
Interpunct, because of the shenaniganry that this ambassador is pulling, has suddenly lost a lot of that lead that they started the game with.
I think we had a safety off on Seek there, the double agent. I think Calamay is aware of the potential that Seek is the real double agent, so
Wasn't
we'll
he
see
tapped
if...
middle satchels?
I thought it was on Seek. Attacked was also nearby. Interpunct going again for a briefcase with fingerprint off.
Yeah,
Extra fingerprint.
that's an empty briefcase, so it's a reasonable way to lose suspicion, but honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Calamay at a time like this is just not really going to pay much attention to it. No one wants to track what people are doing with briefcases when fingerprint is not
Banana
a
bread.
worry. There's the
Convers-
contact coming off. Now is Calamay's time. Are they willing to take a shot for this? It doesn't look like they're even really thinking about it too hard. And Interpunct gets away with it on the spy side of High Rise.
Yeah, good, quick game from Interpunct. It was about as quick as it could have been without joining the double agent the first opportunity.
So that, I believe, is Interpunct's first lead of the match as they step into the sniper side of things against Calamay's Spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, Interpunct gets their first
That's
lead.
an early
Calamay.
chaos bug, and it's
Oh,
a
that-
good one, too.
That was a great one, in fact. Calamay pulling out the emergency Smallman chaos bug button.
Not usually what you want to do with Smallman, because Smallman can get away with such other complete and utter shenaniganry, but honestly, at a time like that, absolutely pull the trigger, and it worked brilliantly. Only 2 missions left to get, and he can take all the time he wants for them, especially now that the seduction target, has dropped in to say hi so nicely. 51%.
I would love to see a mirror of that last game here. Just get 2 flirts, quick contact, and force Interpunct into a difficult shot here.
Maybe now that the seduction target is left, maybe we just go grab this contact now. And it looks like Calamay is going to do exactly that. Into conversation with the double agent we go. This should be the contact fairly quickly. I say this as the other conversation almost explodes.
We did have safety off on Rocker there, and now she's grabbing a briefcase. Calamay, with fingerprint on, mind you, might want to keep Rocker in here. That would be very beneficial.
Indeed, it would be. Bug, contact, flirt, purloin, and fingerprint are the missions available, which means no microfilm, no swap, and no inspects.
Yeah, no inspect is going to be one of your biggest routes to get a save shot, so we'll see if Rocker can finish up fingerprints here. I don't think, unfortunately, that the
Banana
Terrace-
bread.
Oh no!
No.
The double agent steps away right before the contact comes off.
Yeah, not even going to get this flirt done with a second green, 96%.
Honestly, we'll take that. That was once again, the seduction target coming in to say hi, so we had no control over that positioning.
So that contact's very interesting, because one of the SDAs was already out of conversation for quite a while, and one of them split immediately before it, so it could have been a white BB from either conversation very reasonably. But we'll see if Interpunct is able to credit that if a second contact does come off.
Doesn't have a chance to. The shot comes off on Rocker. It's a very good thing indeed we waited until they were in conversation before pulling the trigger on that banana bread.
She had fingerprints done. She grabbed the first briefcase of the game. As well as the one that she grabbed immediately after. She didn't have real contact though,
Banana.
because both double agents were out, but a flirt and fingerprint is enough for Interpunct to take the shot.
Banana bread.
Absolutely it is.
Banana
And
bread.
That is going to put us level at 5, going into the final venue of the night, which is a big turnaround from High Rise. We're going to Modern.
Yeah, and we've got a slow character. We'll see if Interpunct can keep the pacing up to pull this one back, take the lead.
Let's see how Interpunct is able to do on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh,
It's
for a
another
similar.
chaos bug attempt, but this one, when you're going opposite each other, it's really hard to make that take without just giving the man a full-on hug. And Smallman wasn't quite willing to do that, so no bug taken as of yet, but it doesn't look like he was seen at all for it either.
Interpunct saw Calamay do that in the last game, was like, I can do that too, but unfortunately not the right circumstances. We're going to do an innocent reject at the bar again and head all the way over for this briefcase past the ambassador.
briefcase it will be. And if we head right back there, that could be the print done very early on. We're able to get the first one off of this briefcase. That is not quite the right positioning, but you know what?
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take it.
very far off to the side. If Calamay was on top of this briefcase, even the path into it, we could be a very high suspect here. Interpunct immediately going for the fingerprintable statue. I don't love this play.
I don't
Cal-
love it either. It's a very spy-like move, but
Yeah,
here
even
we are.
taking a briefcase from a fingerprintable position and then returning there later at all is one of the most spy-like things you can do. Doing it immediately is very alarming if Calamay is on top of those prints.
He may well be, judging by that highlight, but we do have the prints done. We do have a pair of inspects, and now we're at the blue bookcase with a book in hand, so... And stepping away with it, too, so we're prepared to see some shenanigans with this thing.
Yeah, with that highlight, it could make it quite risky to take it back to any shelf other than blue.
You have to assume Calamay's in a very good position here.
Reading out in the front, Calamay, look at this, still lasers, keeping Smallman on the edge of the screen, looking for a microfoam animation. And it moves immediately after Smallman stop reads. So I think Interpunct is easily the top threat here, easily the top suspect. Not going to redirect off of this bookcase either. So we'll see if Calamay can maybe catch some etiquette here on Interpunct, while keeping an eye on the rest of the party. That's also important when you have a high suspect like this.
Man stopped reading. Man started reading again. That was not correct at all, but wasn't seen, I don't think.
Yeah, I tried something similar to that in finals during Winter Cup. It worked okay on Library. It did work on Library. I don't think Modern's the place you want to try that though. But more likely than not, it was just a misclick.
There's the first flirt of the game, a green for 44%, but at the rate the clock is ticking down, we're not going to have time to finish that even. It's 1 minute and 5 left to play as Interpunct steps out towards the bar, and it's been very slow since this quick fingerprint business
This is nice,
start.
Grabbing a delegate, we should grab this flirt.
And he does indeed grab the flirt. That's a big deal. The
Not sipping during it though,
in.
so that was a very long stay. If we take the sip, that's a very reasonable time to stay at bar. Into a very bizarre conversation position between two highlights.
It's going to be the delegate, though, to an SDA,
Banana bread.
nonetheless. A fake contact coming off.
Ooh,
no, sorry, that was the real contact.
Yeah, that was the real contact. The double agent joined very soon after sending off that double agent.
But it's not going to matter. The shot comes off before anything has a chance to even come of the fingerprint. Calamay on top of things enough that he did not need any more reasons to pull the trigger at that point.
Yeah, very, very nice game from Calamay there, I think. Interestingly, Interpunct did that green BB during the talk for the delegate. So that was a white BB delegate, in effect.
Yeah, it was a very unusual situation, but it certainly worked out. Calamay, on the last game of the set, on the spy side, has a chance to pull it out for the win here. Interpunct sniping for the draw going into the championship match next week. Either way, these are the two you're going to see once again. The question is, who gets the bragging rights before all that happens in 3, 2, 1, playing it?
Yeah, not just bragging rights, but that could be a huge momentum into the division finals.
Absolutely, it could be.
Queen, the ST, starting out inside the ambassador there, picking up an early inspect and probably a fingerprint as well.
Calamay starting things out with a very bold little print there.
Oh, we hit the green on the flirt, but we walk away too soon to
That's
get it.
sad.
Oh, we need to take this fingerprint too. There we go.
We have taken the fingerprint just before we put down the briefcase. Everything is fine. Nothing is broken, except for the fact that we didn't get that flirt. That is less fine. But mostly it's fine.
Yeah, as long as Queen remains a suspect, that could be quite good. I think you'll take that for not getting that flirt.
Interestingly, we get a highlight for hanging out at the blue bookcase. You have to wonder what that was for.
I believe Interpunct does statue book highlights, which doesn't seem like the most efficient use of lights to me, but clearly they've made it work on occasion.
They certainly have. Taking down under 3 minutes, and all we have to show for it so far is that one print. So into statues we go for real this time, as we're able to pick up a pair of inspects. And a green swap.
It's quite nice. Amba coming nearby, gonna leave a print at the green shelf. Who's gonna get called to the statue and when? It's gonna be Duke going in now.
That is the answer to both of those questions.
If Interpunct is taking jumpy shots like they were on Terrace, this could just be a shot on Duke, because this swap fade has not been seen. But he's not going to be seen there. Duke is not being paid any attention to.
Well, the swap has come off. The statue is on camera, but almost certainly we haven't been looking at it. So I think this swap may have been effectively completely clean. Into bar we go to pick up our first successful flirt, hopefully.
If it is noticed, though, and nobody else has been seen there, that could be devastating to Calamay.
We'll see what happens with the reaction once it does eventually get seen. It has to get seen eventually. It's just a question of when. 34% on the flirt. The statue is swapped. We've got the two
34
inspects.
would look a lot nicer if it was an 85 right about now.
It sure would with 1:20 to play, but we are in conversation with the double agent. Here comes the contact on the white
Banana
test.
bread.
It's a pretty good one too. There are only like 3 lowlights available.
Yeah, it's a very good one for this venue.
I don't think any lowlights are being taken either. It was just one highlight on a talker who has fake BB.
Yeah, not a single one.
The one
Under
upside for Interpunct here is that Calamay has mission progress in 3 places, but isn't very close to finishing any of them.
Well, here's the second bookcase. This time for a print.
Oh, he hits it.
Now we're really close to finishing.
Yeah,
Okay.
hitting that difficult fingerprint is massive. 40 seconds to play.
We're going for
What's the
this
last mission going to be? We have progress everywhere. We've got 2 inspects. We've got 34% on the flirt. It's not going to be flirt. There's no time.
Yeah, once Queen moves there, you cannot finish flirt with this amount of time left. There's a bug potential. I think the best opportunity here is just to wait nearby the books with
you gotta
this
get rid
book
of
in
this
hand
book.
and try and
He's
slam
gonna
it
get rid of this book in the green bookcase. That's gonna be the last mission, despite all the progress. He got lit for putting the book back in the wrong place, ladies and gentlemen. It's Calamay who makes it happen at the 9th hour.
Calamay doing a little dance behind the conversation there at the end as well. Probably thought that low light was a highlight or a shot incoming. But Calamay survives it and takes the win in this set.
In dramatic fashion, too. Good lord, that could have gone so wrong.
Alright, that is the end of our first set tonight. Now we're on to an Obsidian demotion match.
Yeah. Huge props to Calamay for winning that. They will be the one in the driver's seat heading into next week's championship decider. But for now,